Behold, it is a console LP. Although it is not the same console LP that I've been talking about doing first up. Reasons for that I will explain in just a moment, because there is an opening cutscene that I'd like to not interrupt in. But anyways, welcome to Metroid Prime. This is actually one of the console LPs that I've been looking forward to doing for quite a while. Although it's not the first one that I had in mind. I did have another one planned, Luigi's Mansion. Some of you may know this, some of you might not. I kind of ran into some problems with that, which I will explain momentarily, and that's the reason I have this game going in its place. First thing I'll do just before I do that is switch the Fusion Suit on, just because I feel like playing through the game with the Fusion Suit. I may at some point forget to put the Fusion Suit on. It's not really going to matter to me that much, because the Fusion Suit is purely a cosmetic change. There's not really going to be much difference at all. So let's just get crack-lacking. You can see I actually switched on to hard mode as well, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge. I think the only problem with this opening part is just the amount of shots that the stupid pirates take to kill. But anyways, I'm going to shut up now.
The cosmos. In the vast universe, the history of humanity is but a flash of light from a lone star. The life of a single person should be lost in space and time. But among the stars, there is one light that burns brighter than all others. The light of Samus Aran. Her battles extend beyond her life and etch themselves into history. Here, another chapter of that history will be written.
So, I should probably point out how incredibly ugly the Fusion Suit looks. That's to be expected if you have played Metroid Fusion. I should probably point out how one unlocks this suit, because it is actually an unlockable feature in this game. What you have to do is, you'll notice that I'm actually playing the GameCube version, because I don't have any free-looking ability in this opening area. In order to get the Fusion Suit, you just have to connect this game with Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. There is a cable that lets you connect your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube through one of the controller ports. And I believe you have to complete one or both of the games in order to get the Fusion Suit. I want to say you have to beat this game to get the Fusion Suit. And the other unlockable is the NES Metroid, which I'm pretty sure you have to beat Fusion itself and then connect in order to unlock it. You might need to beat both of the games for that one in particular, but yeah, that's pretty much all there is. If you're playing the trilogy version, I believe beating the game unlocks the Fusion Suit for purchase in the little thing where you spend your little tokens and shit to purchase stuff. I actually didn't know about that for the longest time. I kind of thought that the Fusion Suit was just sort of taken out, but I probably should have looked at the bonuses that you can unlock and whatnot before actually going through the games. I'm pretty sure that you have to beat the game first, though. I'm not 100% sure on that. So if I am wrong, then feel free to correct me. You know where to do that. But yeah, those are the breaks. Anyways, just to point out, this playthrough is going to definitely be 100%, or at least 100% items. Scans, I'd like to go for 100%, but if I don't, then I'm not going to complain too much about that. So obviously, you know, going for the map station there, that's one that's permanently missable. So I scanned the first one I saw. I mean, you have multiple opportunities to scan it, but you have to scan it while the map station is still active. As soon as you've collected the map from an area, it deactivates, and then you won't be able to scan it, and there's only a certain amount of map stations in the game. So your opportunities are limited, but you shouldn't really lose your chance at going for it, at least assuming that you have the idea to actually scan these sort of things. Now let me go in. That's one other disadvantage about playing on the GameCube version, is that it does take some time for the rooms to load, so it'll take like an eternity and a half for the doors to open. I should have actually gone ahead and scanned that, but it's fine because this one dropped another one as well. Yeah, the pickups are all scannable. There are 3 different types of health pickup, there are 3 different types of missile pickup, and then there's the power bomb pickups. So there's the 7 of those. I should probably... actually, no, I'm not going to bother scanning. This is another one later on that I'll be able to scan, which I believe is just through this door. And there's also this pirate lore. This is the only pirate data lore entry that can be permanently missed if you don't scan it here. Okay, so yeah, scan that, disables the turret. I only discovered that in one of the previous attempts at this segment. I believe this is my 4th try doing this segment, because I had some really serious problems with the last few. The first one I just sort of botched up the intro. The second one, it went really well, and then the video recorder froze like right near the end, and so I ended up losing the whole thing due to it being corrupted. Like, I went to press stop, and then the whole thing just crashed, which kind of pissed me off. But hopefully it doesn't happen too bloody often. I bet you anything is going to friggin' happen at the end of this segment, just because I got everything nice and warmed up and everything. Then the third attempt failed because it kind of fell out of sync. I'm wanting to blame the fact that my computer was really heated up and whatnot. It was like just about ready to shut down just because of overheating. The Hopog was heated up a considerable amount as well, and so I'm thinking that between each of the segments I want to switch everything off and let it cool down for a little bit before going on to the next segment. At least in this case it's not that big of a deal, because I'm only going to be recording this one segment that's going up today, and so hopefully when I fire things up tomorrow morning, or at least tomorrow when I wake up at some point, because my body clock's being an arsehole at the moment, it should be perfectly fine to do the second segment. And I must say I'm not actually sure if I'm making good time here or not, because in my first completed attempt, it wasn't until the 17-minute mark that I actually got out of this place, primarily due to the fact that all the enemies here take so frickin' long to kill. I think I am going just a little bit slower than usual, but like than either of the other 2 attempts, but it's fine. I know I'm aiming for around about 20 minutes per segment, but that's not really, like, it's more of a guideline than an actual restriction for me. So, I mean, you can tell this just by the length of the segments that I've been doing for System Shock 2 and Mario Star Road. Like, I had a whole bunch of those going up as high as 25 minutes. I think I had one of my Mario segments was a full half an hour. So, obviously, it's just a guideline, and I would like to show off right at the end of the video how you're able to get the space jump boots as the very first item in the game, because that's one of the reasons I decided to play the GameCube version, is because I'm able to do a whole bunch of sequence breaks and whatnot, which I think makes for a bit of a fun aspect in this LP. So anyways, this is the first boss. It is the Parasite Queen, and it is kind of a pushover, although it is impossible to kill with the 15 missiles that I have with me just by themselves, because of the fact that it is on hard mode. That being said, it is always nice to exploit certain weird things in the game, and that is, you'll notice I kept shooting my missiles quite rapidly there. The way you do that is you press the Y button, which launches the missiles, and then you press A, and then you press Y straight after that. What that does is when you shoot a missile with the Y button, the front of the arm cannon opens up, and when you press A, it closes that down. And so you basically go between A and Y and A and Y and A and Y, just do that again, and it allows you to shoot missiles rapidly. It only works though if you've got the power beam active, because if you have either of the other beams active, the arm cannon switches its like shape formation so that it's so that it shows that you've got that particular beam active. You'll understand this more if you've either played the game or once I get the wave beam, which should not actually be too far away in this playthrough, because once I get the space jump boots, I just need to get access to Phendrana Drifts, and then I can immediately pick up the wave beam. I can, like, as soon as I enter Phendrana Drifts, I can just pick the wave beam straight up. So that's something you'll, for those of you who are new to this game, will see a lot clearer. Okay, just make references to Ivan Cleary only. I wonder if he's still the Panthers coach. I think he's still. Yeah, I think he is. I like how the Panthers and the Warriors sort of like traded coaches. And now people in the US have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm talking about. They might even be thinking I'm talking about like the Golden State Warriors or some shit. But no, I'm referencing rugby league. Needless to say, the US aren't really quite familiar with rugby league. They're familiar with Union though, because US, I believe, last year hosted a rugby match against the All Blacks, and they got completely and utterly bashed into the next century by what you would consider to be like just sort of like a second string All Black side. Like, it wasn't even their full strength, but yeah, they still got their asses handed to them. But it's the All Blacks. They're full of class. They're just a brilliant team. But yeah, enough about rugby, because most of my viewers are going to have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm on about. Have I actually scanned these fuckers? Yes, I have. If you can tell whether or not you've scanned something by taking a look at the little square that you're supposed to scan. If it looks a little bit transparent, then it means you scanned it. Otherwise, then you haven't. Another good way to scan is if you look into your logbook here, which is, yeah. I actually do not know if I scanned the Parasite Queen. I'm about to find out. Yeah, I have. Okay. Okay, so that totally wasn't a waste of time. Okay. I usually like, for some reason, like going through this place with the morph ball. Like, usually when I'm going on the downward slopes, because I go through there a lot quicker. Let's actually hide out here because there are a couple of turrets over there. Best way to do this is to just approach it like this, so it's not really that big of a deal. They drop missiles, which are going to be completely useless to me because I'm going to be losing them shortly because of a stupid plot device. If you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about. And looks like I've sort of just arbitrarily run out of shit to talk about. Oh well. Just a random sort of escape sequence. I like how they have this escape sequence, but they don't have an escape sequence out of the impact crater at the end of the game. The only Prime game that actually has an escape sequence at the end is, well, I know Metroid Prime 2 does. I'm not too sure if Hunters does. I know Hunters has one at the start of the game, because I did that one arbitrary test video like a few years back. I don't think I'll ever play through Metroid Prime Hunters because, like, it would be an interesting game. I wouldn't mind going through it, if not for the fact that the controls are so freaking terrible. You have to have the stylus on you just about the whole time just so you can go into morph ball mode. And it's really, really stupid. Like, the aiming is... I just don't like it. It's far too clunky and complicated for me. So that's probably the reason why I'll never play through Metroid Prime Hunters. Even though I kind of like the sort of like the plot of that game, just going up against a whole bunch of different hunters and shit like that. It's interesting, but it's just the controls, they just really, really suck. So over here, when you scan this, causes this cutscene to occur. This is the plot device I was talking about just a little bit earlier that takes all of your stuff off you. Good thing I brought a drink with me, because that's one of my other problems with all the attempts that I did last night, was having to bloody just talk and talk and talk, and it's just tearing the bloody shit out of my throat. You'd think after all this time I've spent LPing, my throat would have gotten used to this, but apparently it is not. I don't really get that, but whatever. It's not like I'm going to really complain that much. And it looks like I'm making some relatively decent time. I should be out of here before the 16-minute mark, if this door never decides to open up for me. And one thing I've also been talking about over the last couple of attempts at this segment is they didn't really change the time limit to get out of this place. If they changed it to like 4 minutes or something, that would be a lot more challenging, because I'd have gotten out of there with about 14 seconds left if you took the 3 minutes off of that. And so it would have been quite interesting to see. Like it would have given you a sense of a bit more of a sense of urgency. So it would be like you have to get the hell out of there. 7 minutes is just like you can stroll through that. Like, just the way I was doing it. I was not fast by any means. Like, I was relatively quick, but I was not like incredibly super fast by any stretch of the imagination. So obviously, it's not gonna. I could have just strolled through that. It wasn't really that big of a deal. I had 3 minutes of leeway, so I think they did drop the ball on that case. I'm not too sure if that's the same case if you like play on hyper mode on the trilogy version. I've never actually tried that, but yeah, just something I would have liked to have seen there. So anyways, we've now made Planetfall after that introductory tutorial sort of thing that shows you how to use your items and then takes them straight back off of you. I like the logic in this very much. It seems kind of stupid to me. But anyways, oh my god, what the hell is Aiden going on about now? I think he's watching some really retarded bloody song or some shit or some video about bikies and they're stacking and shit like that. I've got no idea what the hell they're on about. Anyways, here I'll be able to show you, I'll be able to give you a brief idea about how you get the space jump boots first, since that is the intention here. Now, if you're playing the original North American release of the game, all you have to do is lock onto this, and then you're able to dash jump across and hit this ledge over here. Because we're playing the PAL version, we can't dash while locked on anything with the scan visor, so we need to go for it through a we have to try a different approach. And by the way, there's actually a trick that you can do that I was trying to do in those two jumps. It's called an L-lock spring jump. Basically, if you hold down like this and you hold the L button, if you jump and then release the L trigger, it actually launches you just a little bit further. Rather that those spikes didn't hit me. So let's try to... Now, okay, so basically what you want to do is you want to... I can't even remember what the hell these things are called, but you lock onto this one. You lock onto this one up the front here. Now, notice its trajectory. This is, or like its path. Patrol path, I suppose. One of the tricks I found is that you have to time it so that this guy hang on. Yeah, you have to time it so that this guy comes as close as it possibly can to this door when you actually move back. Because the idea is you have to back all the way up to your ship while maintaining this lock. And if the lock passes over the door after it closes, it's going to break. So what I'm basically trying to do here is time it, which I think I did relatively well. And then what we want to do, I may end up screwing this up before even being able to jump, but you go back up onto your ship, and then you keep a close eye on the bottom middle of the screen. You back up ever so slowly. Hopefully the room does not unload in this time, and you wait until this triangle here sort of becomes half visible. This is sort of like your sweet spot, and then what you do is you do a dash, and you basically let go of the L key, the L trigger at the correct time, and it'll give you the speed and elevation to get up onto this ledge. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I am astounded that I got that on my first try. I was absolutely amazed that I did that. Anyways, they'll lock spring jump so that you don't miss that. And here you can get the space jump boots as the very first item of the game. Normally you're supposed to wait until you get the boost ball and then go into a different room in this area, and from there you're supposed to use the boost ball to go up a half pipe, and then meander your way through another couple of doors, and then you end up, once I get out of this room, you end up out there, at that door over there, which I'll just sort of show off what is in there. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I suppose I could just scan a zoomer, just because I can. But yeah, you're supposed to go up there, and you can't actually go this way because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's this section right here. You have to use bombs in order to get through that. In order to get bombs, you have to have the morph ball, and the morph ball is not in this area. It's in the next area that we'll be exploring, which will be next time. So this is the point where I'm hoping to frickin' God that this segment does not Fargo up, because I'd like to be able to keep this segment having nailed that jump on my first try. So I'd say that that's about it for this segment. Next time we'll be doing some exploration in the next area of the game, which is beyond this door over here that I'm sort of pointing at. So see you then.